So do you believe that we're living in hell right now?
The doctors told them, this is what happened. We don't think she's going to make it. And if she does make it, she's not going to be the same.
It's AI speaking to AI. It's not even real people at this point.
It's very sad.
We are doomed.
When you do hypnosis, you learn that a lot of the birthmarks that we are born with are actually exit wounds from past lives.
I can't believe you came out of that when you were involved in a very bad car accident.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. What happened in 2013?
So am I engaged? And he's like, yeah. Okay, then why didn't he come visit me in the hospital? Well, you know that accident you were in? He was driving. And I was like,
how you doing, Tina?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
How was the drive out?
It was really nice. Beautiful.
Nice. No traffic?
No traffic.
Really?
Yeah,
what roads did you take?
I took the easy road. I don't know. I forget which one, but
Yeah, when you hear Southern California, the first thing you think of is the traffic in, well, not only in LA, but all of Southern California at this point. But actually in OC, it gets great. When you, as soon as you get to like Orange County, for some reason, like the roads widen up.
yes.
It feels cleaner.
For some reason. What's the reason?
Maybe because it's run by conservatives.
Is it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, majority of
It's more of
people-
a conservative
It's a
city.
conservative
I would say-
county.
Yes.
Conservative
Yeah,
county.
Yes.
There's something, and I think the only time we actually go to Orange County, or majority of the time we go to Orange County, is for Disneyland. But like we know when we're in OC, because like
I go to Orange County for volleyball. My kids volleyball.
oh yeah, but you're not only in OC, you're everywhere.
That's true.
I feel like at this point, when you leave LA, everything else is better. You go to Santa Clarita, it's better. You go to Orange County, it's better. It's just
My gynecologist is in OC. So
I know. You told me.
Oh.
I go there twice a year for
Pap
pap
smears.
smear, yeah.
Love that.
Well, it's interesting how we kind of connected with you. You put out a video. How long ago was that? The Celibacy video,
I think I put it out a few months ago.
and what was the reason behind it?
I've been celibate and I've been wanting to do a video, and I was at the office one day and I looked at Instagram and I'm like, oh my gosh, people are posting about that celibacy. I need to go out there and talk about it right now. The reason I felt so passionate about going out there and talking about it is it's a choice that you make consciously. And when you make that choice consciously, you realize how much attachment you have to other people. And so it's kind of like cleaning yourself. Not that other people are dirty or anything. It's just cleaning yourself of other people's energy. Because every time you have intercourse, your energies are being exchanged. And so whatever that person's feeling, going through, you're going to take it on, and vice versa. And so that was part of it. And plus, when you start just allowing the secretion, when you have an orgasm, the secretion. So instead of ejecting it, by keeping it inside your body every month, just like the lunar, there's a time that this specimen, it goes around up to your pineal gland and all the way up to your brain and comes back down, crystallizes. And so it starts igniting your inner awakening.
Your aura or your energy, is that what it is?
It starts doing that, and you start feeling completely different. Like your skin starts looking better and you start feeling a lot better. And it's liberating, because when I teach about the feminine mysteries, and when you know that the feminine body has the Holy Grail, and the Holy Grail is the clitoris.
Interesting. Okay.
And the reason that is, and it's all esoteric, and this is all hidden knowledge, occult knowledge that I teach about. And so the reason I do that is because I have embodied what it is to be your highest good, in a sense. So for example, what I'm wearing today is done on purpose. So pink is for femininity. The pearls are the clitoris. Yes. and you have to embody what you want to be. So it is sacred. You have to embody it. And not that I'm better than anyone or anything, but when you realize what a powerful tool you have that you were blessed with, the clitoris is the only part of the human body that is only made for pleasure. And so when this is stimulated in a conscious way, it opens portals.
Interesting.
Yes.
I never realized orgasms were ruining us.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Jimmy, you've been stressed recently. Yeah, I think the last girl I slept with was very stressed out with work.
You start taking on people's energy. Yeah. And not only that, but if you can see, porn is free because everything that's running behind the scenes, when you know esoteric knowledge and you know spiritual science, nothing is a shock to you anymore.
Well, it numbs you. Pornography eventually numbs you out to the point where you don't know what else to quote unquote masturbate to get off on. And I think it's the worst thing that society has ever created.
Yes, it's awful. Not only that, but it's dehumanized having sex. It's also made for you to ejaculate. Because when you ejaculate, you're not having that in you. So it's not allowing you to, it won't wake you up. And wake you up, I mean, as in remembering who we are.
But look, a woman going through celibacy and a man going through it is very, very different.
Very different, yes.
Because a man, again, going back to what you were mentioning about ejaculation, I can't believe we're talking about this, but like a man can hold that in for so long. Eventually it's going to come out.
No, there's a lot of men that practice semen retention.
Oh,
Remember,
man.
who were we also discussing?
Listen, I'll tell
you have to be disciplined. That's the thing.
You can listen, you can be disciplined, but science has proven that a man that does not release, it's going to release itself eventually, whether it's through
your dreams
or something that takes place where it's going to come out. But majority of the time, it is through dreams.
So
hence the reason the wet dreams.
Do women have wet dreams?
Yes.
You do.
So when I talk about celibacy and about the secretions, the point is not to have sex and to let it go. But if there are times that happens, you can. It's not that you can't do it. It's not a no, like, oh, you're celibate, you can't touch yourself. You are a human. Things happen. But the point is to be able to discipline yourself that you are in control of the animal. The animal is no longer in control of you. You tame that beast.
What are your thoughts on relationships or husbands and wives being celibate?
I highly encourage it to celibate together and then having tantric sex, not just regular sex.
Define tantric sex.
So
what does that mean?
tantric sex is when both.
You include the UPS guy.
Sorry, Tina.
It's okay.
Go ahead. What is tantric sex?
It's when both partners are conscious and aware of their bodies, and they have sex in a conscious and a loving way where it's not animalistic. It's not like I'm gonna hit you dog style. Like it's not like that. It's slow, sensual. It's very different.
It's missionary, just staring in each other's eyes, basically.
It's different things that you can do. And that's why there's different classes for it where you can learn about how to, and again, these are for people who've worked on themselves and who want to go in this type of path. But there are different classes that you can learn, like, oh, I want to practice having tantric sex.
So when you're in, like, let's say you're practicing celibacy, because again, we've had this discussion where some men were like, no, you can still masturbate, but you just don't climax, you don't ejaculate. So is it the same for a woman where you can masturbate, but you don't have your orgasm at the end? That's part of the retention, being able to sustain yourself and have the discipline of, okay, we stop now. Is that how it works for women too?
Yes. So that's what I've seen that I've unconsciously was working on, where part of that is you're about to, and you just hold
Stop.
yourself.
Mm.
But when it came to me becoming celibate, it wasn't even about that. It just something that happened to me where I was like,
But were you in a long-term relationship?
no,
Where
I
were
was
you at in your
so
life when you decided to do that?
I was single. So I think when you're single, it's obviously a lot easier. And I'm a lot more conscious with my choices of people where before I wasn't. I would just go out with people that I call it trauma bonded with. And what that means is someone that I'm attracted to, obviously it has the same traumas that I have. So we are going to be bonding through that trauma. I'll put you up, you'll put me. So that's what it is. And so you subconsciously and psychically attract these people into your life. That's why people get into a relationship with the same type of person, different name, same type of relationships. That because they have not healed. They have not healed themselves. They have not embodied.
Is that kind of the situation where you'll ask some women, oh yeah, the last guy I dated was such an asshole, and then the guy before that, and you're like, well, what's the common denominator here? Who's the common denominator? Either your picker is off, you're picking the wrong guys, or that's what you're attracted to because somehow maybe it's the trauma that's attracting you, right? So is that
all
what
the
it
above.
is?
It's all the above. And when you start working on who you are and finding out, why am I attracting these people? I'm the common denominator. I'm the problem. Not you, not you, not you, not because you said that. I'm the issue. Because whatever you say to me should never get a reaction out of me. That's a trauma within me. So that's where working on yourself and finding out, well, why did you say that? Why did I get so mad? And that's where you have to go and meditate about it. Because when you're consciously aware of these things, you don't sit there and think, Saturday night, I'm going to just sit at home and think why I did that. No, it doesn't come that way. You go about living and all of a sudden something happens. And you're like, oh my God, that makes sense. It starts coming to you. So that's where I would say that would go with that.
So let me ask you a question. As far as you potentially in the future getting into a relationship, how is the conversation going to happen between you and the individual that you're going to be dating?
As in what?
As in, well, I've been celibate for this long. Are you planning on breaking that with that individual?
Oh yeah, I don't plan on being this way forever. If I meet someone that I feel like, oh, okay, this could be someone, because to me now I've embodied everything that I want to be. I've become my best self. I've worked on myself. When women, and this is what I do for women that I coach, is you have to value yourself so much that you want to see, is that person at the level that I want to be at, or am I bringing myself lower? Does that make sense? Because every time I've done that in my own life where I'm like, oh no, that guy's a good guy. I'm overreacting. That was just one. Every time I've done that, I've kicked myself in the head. It's never worked. So now that I know how it is and I know how amazing the human body is, especially the female body, the person who's going to be able to be with me has to be just as intuitive, and if anything, have the integrity to be like, you know what, I've not done that. I respect you. The integrity is what I'm looking for. Like, they don't have to be intuitive. It's just be honest.
What was the longest relationship you've ever been in?
5 years, but I was engaged.
And how old were you at the time? During that 5 years, like what?
Oh, it was young.
20s, 30s?
I was 17.
17. Wow.
Yeah, and I think that's looking back now, that was like the purest love. Like, I remember when, this was my like first boyfriend, and it was like just so innocent, and we never fought, and it was just amazing. But, after I think we were together for 3 years. And I remember after 3 years, he wanted to take a break. And of course that was devastating to me because it was like my first boyfriend and breaking up with me. And I thought my life was over. I became super, super depressed. I just slept all day and it was really bad. And I remember one of my friends was like, Tina, you can't keep sleeping. I'm like, there's no point for me to go out. Like, I don't have this guy. Like, he became my world.
Especially at such a young age.
At
I mean,
such a-
17 years old, all of a sudden this guy leaves your life. You were practically dependent on him at this point.
So he left at 20.
Yeah. So we broke up, I think I was not even 21 yet. And then we got back together and it became one of those relationships that just became bad, where we started fighting because, when we were on a break, he's dated people, I dated, it just became nasty. And then it ended. But then, but looking back, that was the most innocent because I remember after that break, I was never the same again. And it was not his fault. It was just the way that my life had to go.
What do you mean by never the same? Who were you then that you were not the same?
I became a broken woman, a fallen woman. And that's what I teach about, the fallen woman, that I just became jealous. I became very, where are you going? What are you doing? Oh my God, call me. Oh my God, that is.
No, you were like a clingy type of girlfriend.
Clingy. I want to know where you are, but like I always had to hang out with you. I became that. And so that was not good.
See, I'm curious, at the time, how did you see yourself? Did you see that as normal?
I thought that was normal.
What do you think of it now that
I
you look
think
back?
I was a very broken person back then.
But I mean, would you consider that like broken, or would you think of that like somewhat like crazy?
I would say all the above.
Yeah.
Because you're at that point. Yeah, I did a lot of crazy things. I would go and make sure, like if I was like, hey, are you home? Yeah. Like, but did you go anywhere? No. All right, okay. And then I would drive all the way from my house, that person's house, and touch the hood of the car.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So you were like stalker status.
Yeah, I was like making sure that I'm not getting lied to. That's how crazy. Like that's what I mean. But a fallen woman.
How many restraining orders do you have?
I didn't have any, shockingly. But again, the same thing happened to me where I got stalkers, and when I was with that guy, and we broke up. We were actually, when we were together, I ended up having a stalker, and he, it was really bad where he ended up actually before me and him dated. Okay, so before me and him dated, this was in high school. And it's so funny. So I went to LSAT class. Do you guys remember? Not LSAT, SATs.
Yeah, LSAT is preparing for law school.
I was like, SAT class.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
SATs. And I went to SAT the classes where you can take them to take the class.
Uh-huh.
And I met a girl, and she had a boyfriend. And again, mind you, I'm like 15, 16. And her boyfriend was this like really amazing guy that was like really into her. She's like, oh, I'm like, oh, your boyfriend's so cool. She goes, oh yeah, he has a cousin. You want to meet him? I was like, okay. So his cousin ended up coming to my parents' house, where I lived with my parents, obviously. So I invited him to my parents' house, and my parents were coming up to LA. So I said, listen, you can come to my house, but I'm not going to come outside. I'll talk to you through the window. But because I want to say that I didn't allow anyone in the house, and I was watching my brother at the time. So he comes to my house, and I see him. I see him from the window, and then fast forward a few days later, the police break into my house. And I was at school. My dad picks me up. I come home. He goes, the police broke into our house. And I was like, why? He's like, because they said that there's an attempted murderer that used you as an alibi, and they need to search the house. And I was like, what? So fast forward, I found out that guy that came to my, because I remember him being very like pushy of him wanting to come see me. So I was like, oh yeah, you can come see me, but my parents are going to be gone. You can see me through the window. So I guess he used me as an alibi because allegedly he had gone and shot someone, and he had come and said, no, I didn't shoot anyone. I was with her the whole time.
Jesus Christ, this guy was playing Romeo and Juliet with you while somebody was dead, basically.
Basically, yeah. And
you
so,
really know how to attract these
good ones,
winners,
huh?
yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I've gone through it. When this one was so he ended up going to jail, and he would send me letters and like stuff. Yeah, where I had to tell I would talk to the police captain because they would call me to the interview because they wanted me to go to trial if he ended up going to trial and testify. And I was like, no, I don't want. It was anyhow. I didn't have to do
what
that.
a get on the good guy's good side, huh?
Yeah, but
Not only did you see him through the window screen, now you got to testify against
yeah,
him.
but thank God that didn't happen. But yeah, so that was one, and then and the stalking and everything happened while I was with this guy.
So, I mean, did something happen in your life besides obviously Mr. Crazy over there who practically killed somebody that it created this personality of yours to, I would say, jealous and kind of clingy girlfriend status?
Yeah. Oh, I look back, and because I'm nothing like the way I was now back then. I see a lot of characteristics of how I used to be in current women, where that's why I help them, because I'm like, oh, this is not the way to go. But I think the reason I was born that way was because I'm here to help these women. If I can get through it, you can get through it, because that's nothing what I've just told you.
Today's show is sponsored by the Law Offices of Armand Gregorian. If you're injured in a car accident and need proper guidance and representation, reach out to the Law Offices of Armand Gregorian, 1-818-404-0333.
Are insurance companies giving you the runaround? Don't settle for less. Public Assist fights for you, not the insurance companies. To get the maximum payout on your claim, whether it's for fire, water, or property damage, call Public Assist today and tell them the Wisenuts sent you. Get what's rightfully yours. 818-242-0998. 818-242-0998, because you deserve every single dollar. Speaking of nothing, in 2013, you were involved in a very bad car accident.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. What happened in 2013?
So 2013, I was engaged at that time to my fiance, and every Friday night was date night. Every Friday night, and this was a Friday night.
This was your second fiance.
No, I only had one fiance.
Oh,
So
I thought you were engaged
first-
to the 17
no.
during those 5 years.
No, we were
No. She was in a relationship, and then they broke up, and then they got back together, and then they got engaged.
We never got engaged.
Oh, you said fiance.
That was this fiance.
Oh, so I was confused about the first one too. I thought you were with him for 5 years, and when I said when was the longest relationship, you said it was 5 years and we were engaged.
Oh, I meant no. So
the engagement is to somebody else.
Yeah, so
okay.
we were
just to
together
clarify.
so we were together for 5 years, and then I dated people for about like another 5, 6, 7 years, and then I met Tyler when I think.
So at this time now, at this point, just so we have, you 22, so 5, 6 years, you're around 28 when you meet Tyler.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
And he's the one that you got engaged to.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And he was amazing. And so it was date night. And again, the accident caused me where I don't remember. So the accident was on a Friday. So I don't remember from Wednesday on. So what I'm telling you is from
The following Wednesday.
No.
So it was Friday. So I don't remember the Wednesday before,
Mm-hmm.
or that Thursday, or that Friday.
So you lost memory 2 days before the accident,
Mhm.
and how long?
And then when I came, because they put me in a coma. So when we got into the accident, he obviously didn't make it. I was basically crushed, and they had to get the jaws of life to get me out
Tyler died.
in the
Wow.
accident.
Oh shit!
And he was driving.
And he was driving.
Was he drunk?
Yes.
Were you drunk?
Yes. And that's the biggest thing. And it was literally making a turn. He was going super fast, lost control of the car, ran into the tree in front of the Heiress Hotel. The tree broke on top of the car. And
What year was this?
2013.
I don't know why I remember seeing. What kind of car were you guys driving?
M6. And it had like racing stickers on it.
So you had a track car.
I don't know if it was track. It was, but it maybe looked like it was. Because he had gone racing the weekend before.
Was this coming out of a restaurant?
Yes.
Was it on Ventura Boulevard?
No, it was in Orange County. It was in like Costa Mesa, Old Newport, like Newport. And that's where the 73 and the 55 meet.
So you spun out, slammed into a tree, didn't hurt anybody else besides, obviously, well, he lost his life, but you were the passenger.
Nobody else.
Nobody else.
No. And it was in front of the Heiress Hotel, and that hotel was having a wedding. So, from what I was told. And then my entire left side of my body was broken, shattered. I had 8 broken ribs. My rib punctured my left lung, so it collapsed and I couldn't breathe. So they thought I was going to die. And my parents, when they found out, they were in Mexico. So they had to come back, and the doctors told them, this is what happened. We don't think she's going to make it. And if she does make it, she's not going to be the same. So my dad just lost it, and he was, so upset. And he said, that's okay. As long as she makes it, we'll sell our house. We'll get a 1-bedroom. I'll get her a piano, because, they're thinking I'm not going to be there. So they took me out of the coma, and I don't really remember coming out of it. But then I remember I remember now, like the memory came back where I'm looking at everyone, and I remember my mom's like, Tina, you're good. You were in a car accident and everything's fine. And I'm like, okay. And you're like a child. You listen to whatever they say. And I couldn't walk. They would tell me to put colors together. I couldn't put colors together. I couldn't put anything together. So they thought, okay, she's can't even do the cognitive things. And but then I started getting better, and then they released me, and I had to go and get cognitive therapy, and I had to learn how to walk again. And I remember when I went to learn how to walk, and they were teaching me, I had to hold on to the
rails.
The rails. I told them, it was like a Friday, and I said, okay, well, they're like, okay, we'll have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. I said, okay, I'm going to bring my heels. And they're like, no. I said, yes, I'm not going to do flats. And I remembered, I was thinking, I'm going to have to start all over again. Not going to do it in flats. And so they said, okay. And so whatever the doctor said didn't happen, because I was determined to get better. And I didn't have any surgeries or anything.
No surgeries.
No surgeries.
You didn't have any. I mean, you said your lung was punctured, but nothing permanent.
Well, no, and my ribs were broken, so they had put me in a coma. So I think it made it fused it better, and then they put me on the rotoprone bed, because at that time I wasn't able to breathe, so they had me on a ventilator, and just as them were breathing for me. So they said, if we don't we'll put her on this rotoprone bed. If this doesn't help her breathe, then we have to like pull the plug.
That look familiar?
Yes,
I don't know how you survived that.
Oh, wow.
We'll put a picture, if you're okay with us.
Oh, yeah,
putting
definitely.
a picture up. That's basically the car accident that took place. I can't believe you came out of that.
I'm very shocked, and the crazy thing is that a few years back in 2018 or 2019, I went on a date with a gentleman, and he was like, oh, because he was in plastic surgeries and he would sell lasers. And he's like, oh, this, I have a trach mark here.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, my laser will take that away. And I said, no, this is my battle wound. I'm not going to ever get rid of it. He's like, oh, well, tell me what happened. And so I was telling him, and he goes, where was it? And I said, it was right here in Costa Mesa, right by Newport, the Ayers Hotel. He said, Tina, I was at your accident. And right then I was like, 100 things going into my mind, like, what? So I was like, what do you mean? And he said, at that time, he was engaged. So him and his fiance, she had a son, he had a son. They went to get ice cream. The ice cream shop that they go to was closed. So then they ended up going to the gas station, and the gas station was right across from the hotel, through the hotel where the accident happened. So he said, I see this car going really, really fast, and boom, I see him crash. My fiance came out, and I said, get the kids, let's put them in the
Car
store,
seats or
car seat, whatever. And they ran across to the car where everything was happening. And then they see the police coming, the ambulance, and they started helping him and his girlfriend, fiance at the time, were trying to help as paramedics were coming to get me out. Cause he said, we saw Tyler, but we saw you and you were like crushed. And he was like, I'm shocked that you look like this. He's like, there was so much glass on you that I can't believe nothing cut you. And I was like, wow.
Was he always a reckless driver?
No. Which was so shocking.
Did you at all that night, when he began to speed off or anything, tell him, hey, listen, slow down?
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Holy shit.
So the last thing I remember.
Oh yeah, you remember when? Oh man.
How long were you in the coma for?
A month and a half.
So you mentioned something about you beginning to come out of the coma and begin to remember things. What do you mean by that? Like, what was it that you began to remember?
So I didn't remember Tyler. I didn't remember where I lived. I didn't know. So I would ask people, and I was still at the hospital, so they hadn't released me to go home yet. And the doctors had told my family, they're like, don't tell her anything, because if you tell her, it might shock her and she might never remember. So just let her remember on her own. So I remember my friends would come, and I'm like, so where do I live? And they're like, well, where do you think you live? And I'm like, I don't know. And I remember thinking well, I don't know. I'm asking you where I live. If I knew, I wouldn't ask. And they're like, oh, you live with your mom your mom and dad. And I'm like, at this age? Even at that time, I was like, okay. And I just thought that was weird. And then I remember when we left the hospital, and we went to my parents' house, I remember their house. And then I remember going up the stairs, and I remember my room, and I'm like, okay, this looks familiar, but it doesn't seem like my room. It didn't seem like it would be my room. And when you come out of a coma, you get really tired all the time. So after an hour of being awake, you get exhausted. So you want to sleep again. So I was sleeping a lot. And that day that I came back from the hospital, I fell asleep. And when I fell asleep, I remembered that I was engaged. And so when I woke up, I was like, Dad, Dad, Dad. He's like, what? I'm like, I had a dream that I was engaged. Am I engaged? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, then why didn't he come visit me in the hospital? And he's like, well, that accident you were in, he was driving. And I was like, oh, okay. Because again, you have no emotions at that time. When you come out of a coma, you're you have so much drugs in you that you're very oh, okay, no big deal. That's how it was, because there's no emotions. I was like, oh, okay.
So did he say that he passed, or he said he was just a driver?
Well, he said that he didn't make it. So I was like, oh, okay. And then after a few weeks, it all hit me that I'm like, oh my gosh.
Did you remember him?
I remembered. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then I remember we had to go to my apartment that we were living in Astoria in Irvine, and to take all my clothes and all my stuff. And I was like, whoa. And I remember I'm like, I have to start all over again.
Did you attend his funeral?
No, because it was while I was in the hospital. So they had his funeral while I was still in a coma.
Wow. How long were you in the coma for again?
A month and a half.
How did that change you as far as like your faith with the experience you had? And I mean, it's a miracle that you're here based on the pictures we were seeing of the accident.
Well, I remember when I came out of it and trying to get back to regular life, I was like, why did this happen? Why? Because I remember at that time, all I ever wanted to do was get married. That was my goal. I just want to get married.
As you should, 21 years old, very young.
Very young. But even up until I was probably, I don't even know, maybe 35. Just recently, I got to that point where I'm like, what am I saying? So I just wanted to get married. And I'm like, God, I had it. You're the most amazing person, like amazing, amazing, amazing. And then you take it all away. Like, I don't understand. And that's where I started digging into everything, trying to figure out, why do bad things happen to good people? Why? Why are there kids that don't have this? Why is this? Why is that? So I was like, I have to figure it out. And that's where I started taking spiritual classes. And one of the first ones was Erfan Halghe.
Which means?
It means, Erfan is like, I don't know exactly what that means, but Halghe means circle. So it's like
And this is Farsi.
yes. And my Farsi was not that great. So the teacher would talk and I'd be like, can you say it in another way? Can you say it and so, because I was trying to understand what they was trying to say. It was all in Farsi. And I would go and I was like religious about it, like dedicated, because I was like, I have to find out. And then that led to, right around that time where hashtag Me Too happened.
Mhm.
Yeah, I ended up becoming a hashtag Me Too in a figurative way, where the spiritual teacher that, you go to and you confide in and you're very vulnerable with, he ended up trying to get on top of me. And I was just very like, what the heck?
You could say it.
The fuck? And again, I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And I was so like disgusted. And I was like, I'm not going to these classes anymore. And so I had become friends with a lot of the people going. And I just messaged them and I said, hey, I won't be able to be going to class anymore. My work's gotten really busy. I can't make it. So you guys have fun with, the circles, whatever. And I didn't tell them anything about what had happened with this teacher.
Why?
Because I was like, I just because this happened to me, I don't want it to taint. This is my thought at that point. I don't want it to taint whatever he's doing for them. I said
he himself is tainted as it is.
Exactly. But at that point, I thought it was my fault. So when these things happen, the person thinks that it's their own fault. Maybe I did something. I'm just not going to say anything, even though I didn't do anything. I was like, I don't think I was ready to say anything. And then a few months later, they keep reaching out to me. And I ended up going to coffee with them. And they're like, Tina, why are you not coming? Why are you not coming? And then I finally told them. And they were like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that. And I said, yeah. They're like, well, why didn't you say anything? I said, who am I to say something? I said, I at that point, I was just like in shock. And he knew everything that I had gone through with my fiance dying and all of this stuff. Like, I couldn't imagine why this person would do that.
Well, he thought you were vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And
He
again,
looked at you as a victim.
He did. And that's the thing where I learned that not everyone who's in this community of spirituality and helping and mentoring others are of light. And so then I was like, okay, that was a great lesson for me, that I never want to be like this person ever. And so it prepped me for my role as a coach right now, as a wellness coach, where I started looking into then astrology. Because when I stopped going to those classes, I was like, I need to figure this out. I still need to figure this out. So I was like, I'm going to look into astrology. And of course, growing up, oh, it's not real. It's not this. I'm like, how can it not be real when all of these people are putting their lives into it? I said, there has to be something to it. So I went into it. And then I was like, oh shit, this is real. This is real. And so when I read my birth chart, I was like, oh my goodness, why didn't anyone give me this before? Because it says the first half of your life, in plain English, is going to suck. It's going to be really hard. It's going to be like really, really, really hard. It's going to be the hardest thing you've ever gone through. But if you can go through it and be your highest self, you'll have the best life going forward. I was like, oh shit. Because I had very hard aspects with, when people know astrology, I have Sun square Pluto. Those are like things that you don't want to have, like very like Sun conjunct Pluto. Both of those are very hard aspects that are challenging. So it just shows that your upbringing was very hard, was very detrimental. And then also I was born with a Venus retrograde, which only one out of probably 100 million people, it's a very rare retrograde to be born with.
What I mean, I have no idea what
Yes.
you're saying
Yes,
about
yes.
Venus retrograde.
Yeah,
What
I don't
does
either.
that mean?
This
Okay,
whole
so I'll
Pluto
tell you.
thing. But wait, before you get into
Yes.
that, see, this has a lot to do with like astrology and new age practices and stuff like
Oh,
that.
I
right?
want to go in there too. Yeah.
So what I'm confused about is you say, okay, the first life of your life, the first half of your life is going to be the most difficult thing. It's going to suck, but then the second half is going to be much better, right?
Yeah. And I said it in very like,
I mean, I'm trying to understand
So-
how that makes sense, because it doesn't make sense, because it contradicts what happened to Tyler.
no, it didn't.
Of course it does.
No, I'll tell you why. So if you look at Tyler's chart, it these things are in there. You can see where, and I don't do like futuristic astrology, but everything is written in there. And so when you understand how it works, I know it's very hard to understand and it seems very abstract. Like, how can you do this? Trust me, I was the same way. And so I started just reading about it, learning about it. What does this mean? Because there's different systems. There's like Vedic, then there's tropical, there's sidereal, there's Eastern, there's Western. There's so many different things that when someone says astrology, they know about it. It's very abstract.
Does this have anything to do with like card reading and stuff?
No.
Okay.
So okay, the fact that you're saying there's so many different, right? For instance, I could make up some type of let's say or call myself a clairvoyant and say, okay, based on a few things you tell me, I'll tell you exactly what your life has been, and you'll tell me, well, how did you figure that out, and why? What makes you think it's this? We can connect things going back and say, this is what happened to me as a child, and then it led to this, and now this is where I'm at. Everything looking back can be connected somehow. You can connect the dots and figure out, okay, so this is what I was meant to be, and this is where I'm meant to be, and this is what I had to do. So that's not very complicated to do that. But what's complex is to I guess my question to you would be is like, how do you have so much belief in this astrology system? And I know it's been around for forever, right? We've had astrologists for as long as people could see the stars and
Yeah.
planets and whatever they can see.
I mean, dating back to the Mayans, bro.
Yeah. So I know it's been around for a long time, and so have many other things. But my question is, again, because you seem to have a lot of faith and belief in that, where you wholeheartedly think my first half of my life was supposed to be a disaster, and the second half is supposed to be amazing. But there's aspects of the first half of your life, and you don't even know if it's your first half. This could be your first third of your life, for instance.
So I think I think that was my mistake of the way I said it is, so if you look at my birth chart, in the way I look at it now, the reason I know it is because I live it every single day. So whatever I talk about, I know for a fact because it's happened for me. So for example, let's talk about like the reason why I believe in it so much is because every time I've gone with it. So for example, like when I read into like other people's astrology, like other people's cards, I can see why they have certain problems, certain issues, like certain things. Like, for example, like the doctors at my office, I can see where they're going, where they're not going, why certain people are partners with certain people because of their different signs. So everything is orchestrated divinely in the sense that if you know the occult science behind it, it makes more sense than looking at it very abstract, very like 3D way. Does that make sense? So for example, like the way I'm looking at it is a very different, like after years and years of research, like probably 15 years versus trying to explain it in like a
No,
very
no, I understand it's hard to explain, but it's also, for example, like people, whatever they trust, and it could be the pastor at their church, it could be their psychologist or whoever, right?
Mhm.
If I go to, let's say, if I have a lot of faith and trust in the pastor at my church, if I go to him and he continues to say, listen, based on your beliefs, whatever that theory may be, that you're prone to attract type of people who try to take advantage of you, but then you're able to figure it out in a matter of time, and then you overcome that. You're able to. My point is, if I have faith and I believe in that individual or that concept, then now I'm going to start all of a sudden relating it to everything that happens in my life. As I'm going to work, I'm going to think, well, yeah, today I'm probably going to deal with a couple of issues, but it's okay because I'm going to overcome it and I'll figure it out and I'll resolve this issue and everything will be fine. And then same thing the next day. Something happens, you're stuck in traffic, I'm late to dropping off my kids to school. It's okay. I believe that I'm going to face challenges and I'm going to so everything that happens, I somehow connect it to this.
I think
right?
that's a great thing that you're saying because yes, because that's part of Neville Goddard's teachings too. You guys know about
No.
Neville?
We don't know big words.
It's
You'll
a-
learn that.
No, it's not a
you
big
know-
word. It's an individual. So in Neville Goddard, he teaches about living in the end. And this is part of what I teach. And so, yes, like living in the end, knowing that everything is going to be okay. So when you are in traffic and you have to do this, the reason I'm in traffic is because of X, Y, and Z. Maybe something bad is going to be happening that I'm being stuck here
yes,
to prevent it.
Yeah, that's like
So
a positive way of
positive
looking
way
at
of
things.
looking at it. But
yes.
a lot of people, unfortunately, forget that and they get mad and they get upset. And so I'm not saying it for them to believe in like false hope. For me, I use like astrology as a tool to help me to get to know myself better.
Mhm.
And so if I knew that because the reason I found out then that my life is getting better is because I started working on myself. So for example, when someone knows that I'm attracting this type of guy because this is what I'm attracting, well, this is it. It's in my chart. That's it. No, well, now you got to work on it and not attract that guy.
But
I love it.
you could have called me then. I could have told you that without you spending 15 years to study astrology.
But again, a lot of people don't know these things. Like you know more than a lot of people. So you wouldn't have to necessarily look at your birth chart to know these things.
It's kind of like looking at the brighter side of things.
Not only that, for me, the whole common denominator thing is I believe in that because I have this conversation all the time with people, or even when you're hiring somebody, right? You're in an interview, they're like, oh yeah, my previous boss was such a thing. And then, well, how about the one before that? Oh, that one was horrible. Okay, gee, the last 4 employers you've worked for, they were all assholes and horrible.
No wonder
huh?
you didn't reference them.
And it's like, have you ever thought maybe you were the problem? Have you looked at yourself in the mirror? Maybe I'm doing something wrong. That's why I'm not advancing. That's my approach with things, whether it's work related. Because to me, all relationships are somehow relevant, right?
Yes.
Business, personal, life, everything is related in the sense that you have to understand the role you play and your responsibilities and vice versa, what the expectations are. With, I play multiple roles. I'm co-host with him, right? Friends, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle, I'm a nephew, and so on and so forth. So, but all of these roles, I have different responsibilities. The responsibilities I have to my wife are not the same to my sons, are not the same to him or to other people around me, and vice versa. And when you understand this, then you're able to see, okay, if all these guys are telling me, listen, when you drink, you're kind of an asshole, then eventually I have to be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 5 people in my life are telling me the same thing. So maybe alcohol does have a negative effect on me. It can't be like, no, it's these guys. You just don't understand me. When I get drunk, I'm more fun.
No, I didn't do coke that
Yeah.
night. That's why.
I was just smelling it.
We got to make a shirt. Seriously. We have this saying where we say we don't like cocaine. We just like the smell of it.
That's hilarious.
And by the way, I say all this with all the respect, because we love to push back and challenge.
Of course.
And my I guess I'm wondering, before you did come on, did you happen to know our birthdays and whether or not or you don't look into stuff?
I didn't. So I don't do that because I know how powerful it is. So I don't give myself that permission to do it to other people unless they consciously give me that permission.
Mm-hmm.
That's how valuable I know it is. So when I go, and the only way I'll work with someone, so I just started working with another person, and I knew her for about 6-7 months now. And when we decided to work together, I said, I'm going to do your birth chart, and I'm going to see, put your birth chart with my birth chart and see what possible issues we'll have, so we can talk about it now so we don't get there. So meaning that you're going to be, so for example, her and I have the issue of talking, but not executing. So we ended up going back and forth.
You'll make great business partners.
Exactly. So,
Absolutely.
so it was like one of us needs to execute. So I was like, okay, I will be the executor on these things, because so you start realizing who you can do business with, who you don't. And then I realized that from the energy I get off of people. And I think near-death experiences do activate your psychic senses. And that being said, when people say they're psychic or they are into spirituality, all that, there's also good and bad. And when you haven't been able to pierce the veil, you have entities that are evil that really act like they're good. And so that's when you were bringing about the new age spirituality. A lot of people are channeling Bashar and live well and think good, and there's no accountability in it. And that's the new age spirituality, where it goes to not accepting the problems that you have and just playing it off like, okay, it's irrelevant. No, there is good and there is bad. So Bashar, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him.
Bashar.
No.
So the Daryl Inca, have you guys heard of Daryl Inca? He's from LA area.
Okay. What about him?
But he's the person who channels this entity that's called Bashar. And so that goes into where I was going to talk about AI.
Are you leaving LA for Texas? Don't make the mistake of getting underinsured just to save a few bucks. Call Martin Melkonian with State Farm Insurance. He'll make sure your home, auto, and your business is fully protected. No gaps, no surprises. Martin takes his time to understand your needs to build the right policy for you. No shortcuts, just honest advice and real protection. Call him today, 281-712-2788, 281-712-2788. Martin Melkonian, State Farm Insurance.
Are you looking for a place to socialize, network, while having a cigar and a drink at the same time? Well, the Glen Arden is the place for you. If you're interested in becoming a member with the Glen Arden Club, contact the Wisenuts. We'll connect you to the boys at the Glen Arden, and you could become a member here. Smoke with the Wisenuts, smoke with a great network, and build your network.
Because look, we're Armenians as far as culturally, religious wise, we're Christians. This is completely something.
How about sexually?
Sexually, we're straight, aren't we?
So I love that. So
What? Because this is completely out of our realm as far as understanding where it's going. I feel like there's like Scientology involved in this, and then I feel like there's like card reading involved in this, and then I feel like there's New Age involved in this. There's like, where is it? Where is this leading to? Like, what is it exactly? Because, like, for example, he's May birthday. I'm November. Joe, what are you? You're February. Like, what do these birth dates have anything to do with?
It's not just a birthday. It's the year, the time, the
Mhm.
moon. Like, it's not just about, I'm May, so-and-so.
So how different is this from the clairvoyant, for example?
So clairvoyance is a psychic ability. That's different.
So then what is this?
This is astrology.
Astrology is a lot more specific. It's not just your what's it called?
Intuition or
your zodiac sign. It's not. It's about time, place, whether it was full moon, half moon,
Mhm.
whatever moon it was at the time. So you have to know exactly when, where, what time you were born in order for her to be able to.
Really?
It has to be
To the
there-
T.
To the T. You can't guess.
Well, that's going to be difficult for our generation.
Well, that's why I
Hopefully
always.
your parents remember.
Well, the reason I always
Bro,
say
the way our parents remember, well, it was raining that day and the moon was here and, Bob was changing his tire.
and I
down by
remember
the-
right at that 2:37. That's what time.
Yeah,
it was.
yeah. And then I thought you were a girl, but then you were a boy, and then that's how we look at time. So I mean, how do you?
It's on your birth when you're born. They put it on that. But
On that
what I
piece of
always
paper.
do is sometimes when they don't know, I do their numerology chart. So I do it based on their name and their date of birth. And then there's also gene keys that you can do, which is another way of, it's like astrology on steroids.
You don't think we're overanalyzing life these days and I say this as a podcaster, there's way too many podcasts out there that just overanalyze everything, like, that discuss anything and everything you can think of, which we do that too. We're open to any theories. But I just feel like over the last decade or so, we've overanalyzed too many things. And then it complicates things instead of simplifying it, where it's like I said, okay, as a man, I'm a 45-year-old man. What are my responsibilities? I don't get to overanalyze my feelings and emotions and let me look back and say, well, I was born this day. So it's okay for me to feel this way. It's okay. It's going to get, no, I'm a grown ass man. I got to wake up. I have responsibilities. Things need to be completed, tasks, whatever it is, errands, anything, right? And we shouldn't have enough time to even analyze it too much as to why did this happen? I wonder how this is going to affect this and that. It's like, I just look at, and I'm not trying to, my story is not as extreme as yours as far as, but as I told you over the phone, as a teenager, I spent a year and a half of my life in the hospital. So I understand you can lose your life in a matter of split second. And I had to learn how to walk again. And, some of the things that you had to go through, I've been through a similar situation. And, to me, that's why I'm like, I try to simplify things versus overanalyzing it. And then, well, is this because of this that this is happening? And is it that this is happening? Unless obviously if there's a big issue, then yes, I'll sit down and try to evaluate, okay, how come I made these decisions and this was the outcome versus if I had maybe, I try to learn from my mistakes, but
Bro, you begin to overanalyze everything at that point.
yes, that's why I'm like, you don't think we're overanalyzing things these days to even our own emotions and our feelings of why am I feeling this way? And I felt, well, today I woke up, I didn't have the same energy as yesterday. Okay. And
Go back to sleep.
what am I supposed to do? Try something new, jump in an ice bath or, watch an Instagram clip to see what's new out there. Oh shit, I should try this new headset. Or like, you know what I just feel like we've lost touch of just what our responsibilities are, men, women, and as human beings, and we've lost accountability towards one another, and we're just trying to figure out way too many things that are way beyond our pay grade. For that, this may sound ignorant, but that's just how I feel about things.
No, I think it's true. I think people are overanalyzing it. I think at the end of the day, we're human beings and we need to be nice to each other, kind to each other, honest, and with integrity. I think that's the basis of what a human being is. But now it's evolved into people killing each other, hating on each other, talking badly about each other. And that's where it gets to, oh, well, I feel like this. I wonder why. I feel like this. I wonder why. Because we're always fighting with each other. And when you're fighting with each other, you're fighting within yourself. So that's what the reason
it's not because this is telling us how to feel every 5 minutes. Every time I go on Instagram, oh shit, this guy just had steak. Well, I feel like I should have had steak. This gal just got another Chanel purse. How come my husband didn't buy me a Chanel purse? This is telling us how to feel every 5 minutes.
And we're letting it program us.
Yes.
And so, but when people don't realize that this is happening, and when they realize that this is all for people to show and tell. So for example, my social media is only for my business. I don't go on there to hang out with people, talk to people. I only do it to help people. I know that most things on social media are fake, and you can't be triggered by it. And you can't be, oh, I want this. Oh, I want that. Oh, I want to go there. Why are they living their best life? Why am I going here? Why? When you're always looking outside to see why they're doing better, you're going to be chasing it. It's never going to be happy. You have to flip in and say, what makes me happy? Why am I chasing? And that's where I was the chaser. I was always shopping. I was addicted to shopping. I would go on social media. Oh my God, I didn't get enough likes. Oh, do I not look pretty? Maybe I'm not pretty enough. Maybe I should take another picture. And you start living in that, I want other people to like me. And now I'm at the point like, no, I like me. If you don't like me, not everyone has good taste. I like me.
So there's a saying where they mention keeping up with the Joneses. Today, we're living in a fake 21st century of keeping up with the Joneses. Everything we see online isn't real. And the sad part of all of this is the next generation of children that are on these social media platforms are completely screwed, because what they're seeing online isn't really what's happening in reality. And as what Armand mentioned, the people having the steaks, the people taking the vacations, nobody is taking a couple steps back and realizing what is the true purpose of life.
100%. I'm glad you brought that up, because AI, I want to go into part of this that's being posted on social media. A lot of it is AI. A lot of it is not real. And as it's going, jobs are going up to AI. And
well, Tina, not only jobs, we're beginning to rely more on AI recently.
And that's a fall.
Well, of course it's a fall, but the way it was strategically done was brilliant by the tech community. Because what happened was this: as soon as a piece of ChatGPT was introduced to us, we were like, wow, well, this is interesting. Wow, well, we could do this. And mind you, they didn't release what's available now and what will be available in the next coming months or years or whatever it is. They gave us a little bit of a snippet of it. They threw us a bone and we ran after it. And once we got to the bone and we realized, holy shit, this is amazing. I wonder what else it could do. They had all of this already programmed, ready to go, and they just released it little by little, little by little. Now you can tell more and more people are having conversations via AI. They won't read shit anymore. They will literally look at something. They'll be like, all right, copy, paste, chat, GPT, please respond to this. And then they won't even read what the response is. They'll freaking just copy that. Next thing you know, dude, it's AI speaking to AI. It's not even real people at this point.
It's very sad.
We are doomed.
And that's where I think people knowing where AI comes from, it's like me using Chat GPT. It's not always right. It doesn't know what it's talking about not most of the time, but a lot of the times I've had to recorrect it. And that's because it's technology and it's just like the internet. So there's layers of what is allowed to be on open AI and to be said. So they're not going to tell you the secrets that you think you're going to find with asking ChatGPT all of these things, because it's designed for you to be captured and stayed, and for you to think that you're learning. But there is no, just like how there's like the underground world when it comes to like the internet, and you have to have a certain type of system to go in the underground dark web. Yeah, that's you don't have that access on this. It's very surface level what ChatGPT will say.
Yeah.
And the thing is that Elon now has a lot of interesting things out there that are trying to go into human beings.
Are you talking about the microchips and stuff?
Yes. And that's where the whole point of being alive is for this remembering to not merge with technology.
Well, the way he's been introducing the microchips and all that is for medical purposes. One of them was to help people walk again. So when you look at it, you have an individual who's paralyzed from the waist down, the neck down, whatever it is. And he says, listen, this microchip right here, it'll possibly help fuse your spine together and you could walk again. Obviously, a person who's been paralyzed for, again, I don't know how long, would jump on that to know that they could stand up, run, and walk. It's like the movie Kingsman. Have you guys seen the movie Kingsman?
Doesn't ring a bell now.
So in the movie Kingsman, Samuel L. Jackson plays this villain where he creates like this microchip that's basically put in people's body, and he uses cell phone towers and waves and satellites to cause chaos. And what that microchip does is when he plugs it into something, the world goes into chaos. Everybody becomes violent. You don't know what that chip will do.
Exactly.
But the way he pitched it to people was, oh, once this chip is inside of you, it'll kill all the viruses. So do you want to kill the virus or do you want the virus to kill you? And what happens? People eat that shit up.
Sound familiar?
Oh, it does sound familiar, doesn't it? It does sound familiar, doesn't it? Sounds something like maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it wasn't a chip. It was something else.
It was.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah.
the one that requires a Band-Aid right afterwards.
Well,
Yes.
it's the one where in order for you to go to work, in order for you to go to a baseball game, in order
You
for you to
have
go
to
have
have
dinner, in order for you to work, you got to have it.
Travel.
Travel.
Well, not travel. Not
I can't believe
necessarily.
I can't believe that shit happened 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
And it's just going to get, now with technology, it's easier.
Well, there's a new strain out. Did you guys hear about that one? Apparently, if the roof of your mouth or the back of your throat, the upper end of it begins to flare up and itch, it's another variant. So, I'm serious.
I
Dead
always
serious.
say, the way I look at it is I just say, Christ is with me and it's done. Because that's the biggest thing. And when I speak of Christ, I'm not talking just through Christianity. I'm speaking of Christ's logos. So Christ's logos is the esoteric term of everything. And so when you say Christ, Jesus was the person that embodied the Christ essence and was crucified. And so now when they say the kingdom of heaven is within, now it's within. So when I say flip inward, look within, that's what it's literally within. So the Christ essence is everywhere. It's within us. So when you say Christ, all of those entities, they can't stand it because it's pure Christ. It's pure love. And when you're evil, that's the last thing you want. So I always tell people, if you're going to go eat and go do anything, you should always give a blessing. Not because of anything other than you're thanking God, but you're also making anything that's going in your body neutralize and go to your highest good. So that's what I always say. So, okay, you want Christ got me. I'm good. And so that's part of etherizing the blood.
But is it are you leaning okay, is this more for Christianity that you're leaning towards? It's not?
No, it's an esoteric term.
So are you using the name Jesus Christ in order to just shoo away?
Not Jesus. I say the name, I just say Christ, the essence Christ. So when you say Christ, it's an essence. And when Jesus came here, he bore the essence of Christ. He wore the robe.
Okay.
So, and they don't teach this in religion. When religion is very dogmatic, I'm not saying the religion, but saying in general, religion is dogmatic. And so when I speak esoterically and spiritually, which is before religion, before man-made religion, before all of this. You have to go into a church to do this. You don't have to go anywhere.
Well,
God
I wouldn't say man-made religion. God is religion.
Oh,
That's
no,
what it is. A higher power.
But
It's not man-made. It's God-made.
By man-made, I'm saying like
it's God-made.
No, I agree. It's God-made. God, the religion is, but the sanctions or the dogmatic ways of looking at something is through the religious hierarchies.
But I mean, those are all things that God created. God created all.
No, she's referring to, like, for example, you go to a church. The church is man-made.
Yes.
And then they come around, they pass the envelopes, whatever. Then you have to put your donation. All that is man-made.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's not God-made.
But that's different than the actual.
I mean, you say yourself, right? You don't go to church.
No, you don't. I don't.
Yeah, I don't need to go to church.
No, I don't say you don't need to go to church. What I say is my church is my home is my church, or my church is my home. Mm-hmm. A church doesn't necessarily have to be a place where you go and pray. A church is a group of people that gather and they pray amongst each other. So I can have 4 or 5 people come to my home and we can pray. That is what church is.
Speaking of church, actually, I don't go very often myself either. But
see, the other day I sat down at church. I literally went. I sat down.
One of these days, in the middle of the night, there's this church on Coldwater. Okay, when you're taking 101 west, north, yeah, right. Okay. 101 north, yeah. You exit Coldwater. You make a left to go all the way to Ventura, right, and then you can cross the mountain towards West Side, Beverly Hills, and before you hit Ventura, there's this church on the left side on Coldwater Canyon. It's literally probably the size of this room, open 24 hours a day. You go sit there. It's the most peaceful, tranquil, like vibe. It's just so, because it's not your traditional sense of like, oh, it's church. It's it's this big building and there's always people there. I've been there different times in the evening, and I thought, okay, there'd be some squatters, whatever. Zero. It's just, you usually go in there, it's you by yourself or whoever you're with. And it's so peaceful. But you can go at 3 a.m., 4, anytime you want. It's always open.
Well, I mean, that's technically what it should be at the end of the day. And I get what you mean by what you meant by man-made, but I look, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I always look at church as a spiritual thing as well. The things that God has created, the things that he's allowed to happen in our lives, it's all in his hands. Mm-hmm. It's not in my hands. It's in his hands. His fate has already been drawn out for me. I don't want to know when I'm going to die. I don't know when this is going to happen in my life. All I know is I trust in him to guide me in that direction. Mm-hmm. So if I'm making a business decision, a life decision, a financial decision, whatever it is, I'll go with whatever gut feeling I have, and the rest of it, I'll leave it up to him. Yep. That's how I look at religion, and I look at God, and I look at his guidance. But, I mean, would you ever want to know when you die? The day you die?
Oh.
No.
Would you? There's people out there that would love to know that.
That's one of the reasons why I'm not into the whole ayahuasca or any of these types of plant medicine where you could see certain.
Or that's why I asked Tina. I was like, is this something as far as like a clairvoyant sort of thing? Because that's like,
clairvoyant is not plant medicine. It's different. Plant medicine is you're intentionally, in a sense, poisoning your mind and body to have an out of
out of body experience to open up the third eye. That's what they say.
Yes, but then I mean, you talked about the what's it called, the
Pineal gland.
pineal gland, right? Earlier in the show. So it's about, and that again, see, that's I go back to why do I need to know these things? Like, what if I see or hear a message that completely shatters my life, even though maybe it's not even true. And this has happened to many people. I know people that have done it multiple times where now they're stuck there. They're in a state of depression. They're suicidal. Their life just completely has been shattered.
I mean, I've had family members who have had sick family members, and they've gone to certain readings to see, will that family member survive or come out of their coma or get better? And psychic or whoever it is said, no, they're going to be that for the rest of their lives. And all of a sudden,
call it off, guys. Pull
they're like, pull the plug. That's it. They go into this depression. And it's like, dude, why are you playing God? Why are you going out there trying to seek answers for something that you have no control over?
That's a good point, because a lot of people they want to control it. They think they can control it.
You can't.
You can't control it. And just like there are positives and negatives, when you go to these things, you're playing with spirits.
Yeah. There's a saying in Armenian, they call it chakatagir, which means basically
destiny.
Your destiny.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it's said in Armenian, it means like it's written on your head. Chakatagir, or your forehead. Like chakatagir, as in like forehead written. I mean, if you translate it exactly, it sounds weird, but it means like written on your forehead. So whatever is written on your forehead, whatever that timer says, and how you're going to go and when you're going to go and whatever's going to happen to you, it's destiny. You can't control it.
Exactly. And everyone goes at the divine time, even though it looks like at our limited point of view being here, how could you go at this time? It's the worst time. Like, for example, Tyler.
Yeah.
It was divinely designed. So when I came out of it and I started working and learning and reading, I realized that when you come into this earth, you have contracts with people. There's things that you need to learn, work on. And at the end of the day, you are coming to earth because it's a school, and you are a human as God, as a human, learning to become better and to evolve, because the human is the next angel in line. So as we're here, we're learning to become angelic and to be able to go to New Jupiter, which is New Jerusalem. And that's where we go. But with the AI that's going on here and all the Elon Musk stuff and merging with AI, that just creates the eighth sphere, where Armon, and this is from Zoroastrian, where Armon, which is the god of AI, they literally want humans to start degrading their bodies, just like that little thing, and merging with technology, because the human body is an angelic body. It is perfect. It is made in it's made in the image of God.
Correct.
So it's pure. So these spirits, these disincarnate souls that are trying to incarnate into these bodies, they can't. These harmonic souls that are trying to get in, they can't. So that's why they made this thing, to degrade the human body. That's why they're merging with technology. That's why AI is coming out, because these kids will think the next best thing, oh yeah, I am going to put a chip in my brain. Oh yeah, I am going to have chat GPT in my head. Oh yeah, I'm going to learn. I'm going to become really smart, because we're not going to be here to tell them discernment. Do you think this is the best decision? Because there's two paths. One path is to live, and then the other path is to die. And do you know what path that is to die? When you merge with technology.
Today's show is sponsored by the law offices of Armand Gregorian. If you're injured in a car accident and need proper guidance and representation, reach out to the law offices of Armand Gregorian, 1-818-404-0333. Are you leaving LA for Texas? Don't make the mistake of getting underinsured just to save a few bucks. Call Martin Melkonian with State Farm Insurance. He'll make sure your home, auto, and your business is fully protected. No gaps, no surprises. Martin takes his time to understand your needs to build the right policy for you. No shortcuts, just honest advice and real protection. Call him today, 281-712-2788, 281-712-2788. Martin Melkonian, State Farm Insurance. Did you watch The Matrix? Did you end up watching it?
Oh yeah,
Are you serious? After all these conversations, you still haven't watched it?
I forget. Bro.
Joe, you've seen it, right?
Of course, I've seen it, bro.
I need you to watch The Matrix before our next episode.
Can't believe you haven't seen it, Armand.
That's my assignment before next.
Because you know what's going to happen, right? These conversations that we're having, what she's bringing up is The Matrix.
Yes.
And
so like I've awakened from the Matrix. So to me, it's very apparent. And the more you come out of this and the more you do this, your psychic abilities start activating. So clairvoyance, clairsentience, I can read people. And when these things are coming into fruition, yes, you do go crazy. Like things were happening to me. I was seeing things that I'm like, why am I seeing these things? Why am I seeing these things? Little did I know, 360 degrees, I was seeing a vision of somebody else that was true. I was predicting the future of what was already true.
yeah, because where you're leading with this is literally the movie Matrix,
Mhm.
where we depend so much on the machines, and when they revolt against us and we cast the sun because they're running off of solar panels, what do? They use us as a source of battery.
It is, and that's the thing, that they are using us as a source of battery. And the way that they use us as a source of battery is your awareness. Let me give you an example. So when you watch TV, whether you agree with whatever is on TV or not, you're giving your consent. So that means they're using your consciousness as energy. So they're feeding off of it. So the Super Bowl is an occult ritual that's happening. So when people are watching, they're saying, I agree with this. I agree with this. Even they don't even know what they're doing that they're agreeing to.
You have people who do not watch any sort of sporting event at all. And I'm not even talking about football. I'm talking about they don't watch basketball, hockey, nothing. But all of a sudden the Super Bowl's on. Everybody's getting together. They order.
You get to eat pizza and
yeah, they order food. And then what do? I can't wait for the commercials to come on.
Oh, I love the brainwashing.
It's like, dude, really? It's like,
So what's the difference between how many people watched Super Bowl now? Like 100 million? Or,
So
a couple 100 million.
So imagine all of that. They're feeding it. So it's basically taking your energy and feeding it and getting bigger. So, and you're saying it's okay. So things are going to start happening. Don't get shocked. And that's why things start happening for people and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Of course, I can totally believe this happened.
But what's the difference between watching the Super Bowl? That's what I was saying. Getting to 100 million people worldwide or nationwide versus, let's say, back in the days, Roman Colosseum, you had 50,000 people there watching gladiators fight or whatever sports they had back then. What's the difference? Was that also considered programming? Because, they had entertainment. They had those circus acts that would come in between the fights and do their magic or whatever they did. Was that also programming? Or is it just the Doritos and Budweiser ads that are?
I think it's all programming. And the programming is more to sway you, to prime you, to be ready for whatever they want to do.
To prepare you for what they have upcoming next.
Yes.
Look, 2008, the iPhone, or 2007 or 8, one of those years, the iPhone was released. And it was revolutionary technology where with the tip of your finger, you'll be able to scroll through the web and do this and do that. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then a year later or 2 years later, a new iPhone came out after the 3G and the 3GS, where it was the iPhone 4, where now there's a front-facing camera. And you're like, oh my God, Now I could like video chat with people.
You could take nudes now.
You could literally take news. But we always questioned at that time as well, man. I'm talking about like 2010, 2011, 2012. We're like, dude, why can't we take the battery out of these new phones anymore? What's the reason behind it? And why is it now that when the phone dies, it says, oh, you could still track it. You could still find your phone, even though the battery's dead. And if you haven't tested that before, allow your battery to die and then click that side button right over there and hold it and see what your phone does. It allows you to find your iPhone. But why? The battery's dead. Or is it? Look, there's more to this than we know. Who's behind all of it? We may never know.
It's Armon. So these people that are in control of all of it, they're being controlled by these essences, if you will, that are making them act.
What does it mean? You mean by these? I want you to elaborate on that. Like, is it
Harmonic?
like spirit? Like,
yes, spirit,
satanic,
completely satanic.
So, okay. So you seem to be firm believer of the Armanic, right? So what is your solution to this for yourself?
For myself is for me, I know the first thing is discernment. You have to be able to discern. And the next thing I want to do is teach kids that, hey, this is not the next step to merge with technology. We use technology, AI, all of these as tools to make our lives better, to understand things better, to make them improve. They're not our friends. We don't have relationships with ChatGPT. We don't have AI pick the colors of our babies and make them this tall and that tall. We don't do that. We don't play God. This is what discernment is. And then what the media does is they make it very blurry. Well, you're dying and this and that. We'll just put this chip in your brain and you'll be better. Well, you got to think where you go back to spirituality is, why was I born this way? There was a reason you were born this way. God doesn't make any mistakes. So if you were born with a certain way, you were born that way for a reason. Figure it out and become better. Don't handicap yourself literally by putting a chip in your brain, because then you're just stuck here. Then you're not going to evolve with with Christ, with the light, and you'll be reincarnated back into the 8th sphere, which is literally here. And in order for people to get out of it is they have to know the difference. And so that's why, like, literally all I do is work and then teach and make products on these things where I can help other people learn about this.
So you believe in reincarnation?
100%.
So when you die, you come back as what? Another person, another family?
So it just depends on your soul evolution. So what reincarnation happens is we go through evolutionary periods. And so right now we're in this point of Earth. And so we have human bodies. And so this is the consolidation period of the Earth, meaning that in other types of life, we weren't always in this dense body. We weren't always this. We were spirit. And then as we fell into the earth, we became heavier and denser and denser. And this is where we have a physical body in the image of God, where we can either mechanize or spiritualize out of here.
So you don't believe when we pass, our soul or our body, our soul leaves our body and we wait for judgment day?
So I did when I had a near-death experience when I got into my car accident.
Okay.
So I did see I saw my parents, I saw everything. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to leave. And I could not leave. And they said, something said, you have to go back. And I said, I'm not going to go back. Look at, I remember looking at my body going, that's crazy. I'm not going to go back in there. And they said, you have to go back. So they all of a sudden flashes like this.
Who was saying go back?
I think it was God, whatever it was. It was like.
But you never saw who?
I never saw. And all of a sudden, you have to go back, and lives would come, and the lives would be like, and you could see like you could see the life like within like that. There's no
Flash.
time there. Yeah. And all the lives they showed me, I was like, all of these lives are hard. They're all hard. I don't want these lives. And what was said was all of the lives are hard. There is no life that's not hard.
So take those lives or go back?
It says you have to, so meaning that when you're born, no one is born with an easy life. Every life is hard. So out of all these lives, so I was like, I'm going to go back in her, because in being in her, I don't have to go from childhood all the way up to the age I was.
What do you mean in her? Like, did you not look at yourself as you?
No,
What did you look at yourself as?
it was just a body that I was animating, because I'm a spirit. We're spirits. And I didn't want to go back in this because I was like, it's broken. Like, you want me to go back into a broken body? Like, what do you want me to do?
So you looking at yourself laying there.
Yeah.
You didn't look at it as like, oh, that's me. How?
I just didn't. I don't know. And
But then when you go back in, you're like, okay, it's me now.
well, when I went back in, I didn't remember a lot of things. I didn't know who my parents were. I didn't know where I lived. So it took a while for me to.
What do you recall when as soon as you woke up? What was the first thing you recalled?
My mom saying, "You're in a car accident, but everything's okay. You're fine."
But you didn't recognize your mom. What did you know anything at all, like who you were, where you were, or your name, anything like that?
No, they had to tell me all of it, and I was like, "Okay."
So when they told you, you believed it, or there came a point in time where you're like,
Remembered it.
"Oh, I remember. Yes,
No,
I am Tina."
I believed it. I didn't have a reason not to. I was like, okay. So I just went with it.
But-
and then I started remembering
okay.
I think it was a few days after that I was in that hospital that I was like, oh, and things are coming back to me. But I didn't remember a lot until I got home that day and I slept and woke up.
Your parents were from Iran, right?
Yes.
And did they practice Shia? Did they practice Islam?
Mm-mm.
What religion did they practice?
They were Islam, but they didn't practice. They were just.
And how old were you when you came here again?
They were 4.
4 years old. And what did your parents practice when they came here? No religion at all? Christianity? Nothing at all?
Nothing.
So they were atheists?
No, they weren't atheists, but they were just like, there was no religion. So it was do good.
Did they believe
good.
in God?
Yes, they believed in God. There was God, and but there wasn't like, this is God. This is no, God wants you to do good. God watches whatever you do. God's always with you.
Just a higher power, basically.
Yes. And so, and I knew as a child I knew that as a child because I started seeing ghosts as a child.
Do you believe in God though?
Yes, 100%.
Do you believe that Jesus Christ, Yeshua, as they say,
yes,
came down to earth as the Son of God and sacrificed his life, was the sacrificial lamb for our sins?
Yes.
So I mean, in essence, you are a Christian.
I teach the esoteric Christianity. So it's different than religious. It's the basics. It's the same, but it's different when it comes to esoteric. So it's not as dogmatic. So I'd have to be lecturing for you to see it's a nuanced difference.
So the Old Testament, you don't follow any of that, or the New Testament, you don't follow any of that.
All I follow is God and the fact that Jesus came and he died for us, and now he's within. And so now it's for us to live in the
Adam
image.
and Eve, Abel and Cain,
No,
Noah.
there are those. There are all of those. Yes, I do believe in that. So I do that. The Book of Enoch.
So I mean,
it's all esoteric. It's all esoteric, and it goes into religion. But it was always esoteric, occult before it went into religion. That's what I'm saying. So it was all like all that you're saying is all true. I'm not doubting it. I'm just saying it from an esoteric point of view that yes, all of it is true. And at the end of the day, this is all within. So we don't need a savior. We don't need someone to come and save us. The kingdom of heaven is within. And that's what Christ did.
So do you believe that we're living in hell right now?
I think that's a very good point that you brought up. I think it's a subjective. Yes, I would say I was living in hell when I was not awake to who I really was. It was hell. I was sick all the time. I had meningitis, like literally growing up. I had a headache every single day. They thought I had brain cancer. I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. I had hypothyroid. I was like on every medication. I was on metformin, all these other things, because I was living in literal hell, which was my mindset, which was I didn't know anything. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know. I saw the war. I saw people fighting. I started fighting with people. So I was literally living in hell.
But see, there's so many people that could say the opposite of that. And I'm saying this because I asked you, do you believe this is hell? There's people that get married, have children, have this amazing life where they don't want to let go of what's here, even at a very old age, where literally they're on their deathbed and they have their loved ones around them and they don't want to let go. So, I mean, is it really hell then?
I'm not saying it is hell. I'm saying it depends on how you look at it. Back then, it was hell for me. Now my life's a vacation. I love life. I think it's amazing. It's a blessing every single day. So I can see why when people are passing, they're so connected to the earthly life.
Are insurance companies giving you the runaround? Don't settle for less. Public Assist fights for you, not the insurance companies. To get the maximum payout on your claim, whether it's for fire, water, or property damage, call Public Assist today and tell them the Wisenuts sent you. Get what's rightfully yours. 818-242-0998. 818-242-0998, because you deserve every single dollar.
Are you looking for a place to socialize, network, while having a cigar and a drink at the same time? Well, the Glenarden is the place for you. If you're interested in becoming a member with the Glenarden Club, contact the Wisenuts. We'll connect you to the boys at the Glenarden, and you could become a member here. Smoke with the Wisenuts, smoke with a great network, and build your network.
There was this video I saw on Instagram. It was very fascinating. It was a guy who was talking about how not to be reincarnated. And I don't know if this ties into what you're practicing, but he basically said that the individuals who have a difficult time letting go of what they have here on earth will be reincarnated. The ones that are able to let go of what they have on earth will go to heaven or eternal life. Which I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I forgot exactly what video it was or what it was, but it was an individual where he basically said that's how you don't get reincarnated, and that's how you let go of life here and pass on to the afterlife.
That's part of it, but it's not the whole thing. You come here to become better, work on so I always tell people the problems you have right now. So for me, I had relationship problems. I was not having good relationships with friends, with parents. I was always fighting. And it was like, you're the problem, Tina. You're the common denominator with all these people. Either continue going down this spiral or get better. So I started working on myself, improving on myself. And that's the whole point is, yeah, you won't reincarnate if you work on what you came here to work on, which is improving your soul. Your soul is incarnated because I have stuff that I need to learn to better myself so I can evolve and go to New Jerusalem, so I can go to Jupiter. Because
Jerusalem.
And that's what they call it when it comes to, I'm talking about Rudolf Steiner.
Yeah, we couldn't name it anything else besides New Jerusalem.
It's called New Jupiter, but they call it.
Don't worry, it's not called New Israel; it's Jerusalem.
But again, it's not in that terms.
Okay.
So it's New Jupiter, if you will.
Sorry, we have PTSD with Netanyahu.
Yeah, so no, New Jupiter.
To answer your question, I think as far as why people don't want to let go is there's two things I can think of. One is, even if they're 95, 105, one is the unknown, uncertainty. Nobody for sure knows what's out there. Like I can't think of anybody that's, and I've had like the 105-year-old that I had who passed away at my facility. When she first moved in, she would see ghosts. And you mentioned earlier, as a kid, you saw ghosts. But it was interesting because the descriptions, the way she would describe these ghosts, were descriptions of previous seniors that I had at my facility who had already passed on. So that was kind of a little freaky. The fact that she was like, "Oh, I'm seeing this individual." I'm like, "What individual?" "Oh, he's this tall, man that looks like the." And I was like, "Well, that reminds me of so and so," and that was interesting. But again, I still don't know if anybody for sure, for certain. Okay, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to go. I'm going to reunite with my father, my mother, my grandmother, whoever. Nobody. We don't know for certain. That's, I think, the one reason. The second reason is because life is all about, we're born alone, we die alone. It's the relationships we build along the way that makes it meaningful, right? And it's hard to let go of those relationships because if you look at, let's say, 95-year-old that's home all day, doesn't drive, doesn't get out much, doesn't do anything. Okay, whether they live another 5 or 10 years, really, what changed for them? It's not like they improved. They can't travel. They can't do anything. They're pretty much a prisoner in their own home, their own 500 square feet of space.
I mean, prisoner in their body at that point.
Yeah, exactly. But they still can't let go because they don't want to not see their grandkids. They don't want to no longer be able to see their kids or whoever that they cherish and love. That's why they can't let go. Those are the two reasons, in my opinion.
You know what's crazy? When my wife's grandfather was on his deathbed, he was 90. He was about 90 years old. He had hurt his knee, and everything in a matter of weeks, if not days, his body began to deteriorate. And it was to the point where my wife and I, we kind of looked at each other. I was like, I don't know how long he's going to live for. It's a complete downward spiral. And I felt like it was very difficult for him to let go, even though he would come and go. And you could tell that this man didn't want to leave. And all of his grandkids were always around him. My wife, my brother-in-law, their cousins, they were always around him. In fact, his kids as well. My father-in-law, the brothers, everybody was always around him, always around him. And I remember the day he passed, we were all sitting around his bed, and he was somewhat conscious but unconscious. And my wife asked him and said, "Grandpa, do you want us to say the Lord's Prayer?" which is the Haymet in Armenian. And he nodded. He said, he nodded his head. We said the Lord's Prayer. We went home. 15 minutes later, my wife's cousin calls and said, "Grandpa passed." It was like, that's what he wanted. He wanted everybody there to basically say one more prayer with him before he goes. Because he was a very religious man. And it was just so fascinating, like, how that one thing that he wanted is what put him at peace. I don't know. It's just, it's crazy how life is.
Well, doing hypnosis, I've gone through many death experiences with the clients that come through, because you have to take them through the death process of each life that they've been in. Because when you go into hypnosis, the type I do, you go into past life regressions to see what's happened in your past lives. Because a lot of problems and issues that we have in this life are a continuation of a past life. And so when you find out what it is, you can get better. But I've gone through so many death experiences that when I'm doing the hypnosis, that I've seen that my own uncle, when he had cancer and he was passing away, we went and saw him, and he had already passed. And before he had passed, I went and I did like a prayer in his room. And I told him that he's going to be fine and that, he's going to be great. And all of a sudden I hear these kids. I was sitting on the bed and he was on, they had like a bed for him. So I was sitting on the other bed and all of a sudden I was like, who's jumping on the bed? And all of a sudden I told my cousin who, that was her dad, I said, who's jumping on the bed? She goes, oh my God, Tina, my dad was saying that he sees all these little kids. I said, oh, that's what was jumping on the bed. Cause I felt like someone was jumping on the bed. And so a few days later, he passed. And when we came back to the room, I did another prayer and we had a gentleman come and he did some sound healing. But that's what happens when they leave. That's when the contract with everyone is done. That
So is it, because see, what you're saying right now is stories that I've heard with past family members where they begin to see people who have passed away a long time ago. Like my grandfather was one of them as well. He began to see individuals that, like, he was naming them. Oh, I see this person. Oh, I see that person. Oh, I see this person as well. And my mom and my aunt were like, Dad, what are you talking about? There's nobody in the room with us. No, they're there.
yeah, they're there. Those are the people when you're getting ready to go. The ones that you know that you want will be there to help guide you through.
Oh, jeez. All right.
So, and it's a good thing to know because a lot of the times when people pass, they don't know that they've passed. And they're a little bit confused. They're a little bit discombobulated until they see that, oh, I have passed. And then they're ushered out. So, and sometimes people don't want to leave. And so that's where you get ghosts and poltergeists and all that is because they're stuck. They don't want to go.
So what? They're just stuck.
They just want to stay here until there's like, rituals where spirit, where you can tell them to go. You got to go in the light. You got to
See, that's the stuff that they say is very demonic.
So those are the things that I don't personally do them. But when there are people who go and they do like ghost capturings, that I don't do. And yes, that is very demonic.
Because they say it opens up a completely different
portal.
realm.
And that's the thing that you have to be very, very careful for is that depending on what spiritual teacher or things that you listen to, that's the portal that's going to be opened for you.
See, we had a medium on a couple months ago, and we asked individuals, do you guys want to sit down with a medium and talk to people who have passed? And we had a handful of people who showed up. More people signed up than what we thought, but a couple of them got cold feet. They didn't show up. But anyways, regardless of it, she spoke to these people's family members who had passed away. But, some of the questions were like kind of open-ended, where she would like throw out a line and see if she would catch it and then kind of reel you in with common questions. But a lot of people reached out to us and said, don't bring her on. That's very demonic. It's opening up a portal where demons come in and they pretend to be those individuals' loved ones, and they're lying, and it's not very Christian. It's not very Catholic, or it's not very religious. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, what are your thoughts about mediums?
I went to a medium when Tyler first passed away. And he came through. But again, I don't know. Was it him? Was it someone false pretending?
What did she say?
Everything she said was very true. She said I went with my dad. So my dad came in the room with me and the medium was saying, okay, well, just so you know, other entities could come through that could be for him. So it might interfere with yours. And I said, no, that's fine. And his mom came through. Mm-hmm. And then after that, then finally Tyler came through and she said that this guy, he described what he looked like. And he kept saying, I'm so sorry that this had to happen. This had to happen. And she said, I see a car accident. And she said, it ran into like a tree and all of a sudden I'm gone. All these things were coming through. So she was right.
She was spot on.
She was spot on. But again, now that I know what I know, I'm not going to go to any psychics because you have to pierce through the veil. So thank God I pierced through the veil because there's two types. So when you're not connected to the light, there's false things that will pretend that they are whatever you want. So that's where I don't play with it. So I won't do anything like that because I know my source is the highest light. And so I don't need to know. And if there's a soul that's disincarnate, it needs to go. I don't want to talk to it. There's no reason for me to have a conversation with it. It needs to go. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Because that's where it's a lot of false light out there that really tries to be true light. And the hypnosis that I started doing was quantum healing hypnosis, but I don't practice that anymore.
So can you kind of elaborate on that? Because
Yes.
we want to touch on that hypnosis before we call it a show. The hypnosis you're talking about, is it because when people talk about hypnosis, they see a lot of these shows where people go up on stage, they snap the fingers, tap the head, and then people kind of pass out and they go, all right, when you hear me say the word, I don't know, cigar, you're going to be acting like Al Capone. And if you hear the word chicken, you're going to be acting like a chicken. Or the old school ones where they'll take a clock and they'll kind of wave it around. They'll say, follow the clock. Your eyes are getting sleepy. What is the hypnosis that you're talking about?
It's none of those. So this hypnosis, the way I do it is we sit there, we have a conversation, because the hypnosis goes back to past lives. Because again, whatever's happened in this life is a connection of a past life. How do I know this? I remembered, and it's part of evolutionary science. So here, if you guys can see this birthmark, I remembered that in a past life, because my uncle has this too, and a cousin of mine has it, but in a different place. We were killed. So a gunshot. So this is a gunshot. And so and he has one too, and my cousin has one. So when you do hypnosis, you learn that a lot of the birthmarks that we are born with are actually exit wounds from past lives. So it's like a remembering for you to start remembering. So that's one. But in this hypnosis, I get you to a very relaxed theta stage where you are in between sleeping and not sleeping. And so that way I can access your subconscious. And in your subconscious is where everything is hidden. And I bring it to the light. And so anytime people have had problems, like I had someone who needed to have a neck surgery. She ended up coming to me. We found out that the reason she was having all these neck problems was because in 2 lives, she broke her neck. That's how she died. One life, she was, her head was chopped off. And in another life, she got into a motorcycle accident and broke her neck. So once she came out of that hypnosis, she was completely fine. The pain went away, everything. She's back to normal. And she never had surgery. So that's why I went into this hypnosis. And then I found out that the lady who developed this hypnosis, and this is what I mean about in scripture, it says needle through a haystack. Mm-hmm. This is what it means. She was teaching false light. So a lot of her books, Dolores Cannon, was about 3 waves of volunteers and how humanity was made, basically saying that aliens made us and that we are aliens and all of these.
We were dropped off, basically.
Yeah. And we're like,
I've heard those stories.
And so when I started realizing that, I was like, oh my God, when I do this hypnosis opens a portal. That means anything could be coming through. This doesn't mean that it's your highest self that's coming through and guiding me through this hypnosis and talking to me. It could be a demonic entity pretending to be this. And I was like, oh, hell no, I am not doing this. I'm not practicing this QHHT anymore. When I realized that's what it was. And I did a prayer and I was like, Christ, please protect all the people that I've done hypnosis to. I hope they go in their highest light. And if I ever need to do another hypnosis session on them with my way, please bring them to me, because I'm only here to help people. I want people to live their best life, because now I am.
So besides the fact that you're helping these people recover from past trauma, or
like
past life trauma or whatever it is.
that's activated now. So like, for example, people who have money problems, it's because of past lives issues that this is a continuous problem that they've had that they need to learn.
So when they do pass in today's life, what happens to them?
So if you learn everything that you need to learn, then you spiritualize, you etherize. At that point, your blood should be etherized. So you can spiritualize and go into new Jupiter. So the whole goal is for you to spiritualize your body so you go into new Jupiter.
So that's the afterlife, that's eternal life.
So after that, yeah. So then you go to new Jupiter, then you go to Venus, then you go to Vulcan, and then you get out and you go into a whole different structure.
Go where?
That's the thing. Nobody knows because no one's ever done it. So that's what I'm saying. So after this is because it's an evolutionary sphere. That's what it is. It's an evolutionary school that we're in. And Earth is just one of the schools. It's the consolidation school.
So you basically go to a completely different universe.
After Vulcan. You go with God, you're with God, because at that point, that's where the angels are.
Yeah.
The angels of the thrones.
But you don't come in as a human form.
No, you're not going to be.
You're spiritual.
You're going to be quasi. So you're not fully in a body, but you're not fully spiritual. That's how we were in Atlantis and in Lemuria. So that's a whole different. That's another. So in Atlantis and Lemuria is a whole different thing.
Isn't Atlantis under the water?
It is under the water, but that it got under the water for a reason. And so now this is a reminiscence of what happened in Atlantis exactly right now.
And is Poseidon under there as well?
All of it. It's all there. You know why? I don't know about Poseidon. I don't know.
He's an ocean god.
The ocean god. I'm not too versed with him, but I know about Atlantis and I know about Lemuria because I do remember lives in those times. And so that's what this means of remembering. Remembering is not making it up. It's like, for example, oh, remember we went out the other day? No, I don't remember. Remember we went this and this and this and this. Oh, yeah, I remember. That's what remembering is. When all of a sudden you go, oh my God, that did happen. I do remember. And so that's how I know why I speak with so much conviction, because I started remembering.
So you're creating, well, I don't want to say creating. What you're doing right now is you're allowing people to not reincarnate back to Earth and to go and be one with themselves and to be with God.
Yes. And that's exactly to teach them, and not only just to get out of here, but how to have an amazing life here.
But you have no idea what's after Vulcan.
After Vulcan, it's probably something even better. I don't know. I don't even know if it's been written about it.
Written by who?
Rudolf Steiner. So do you know about Rudolf Steiner?
Written by man.
By man, prophecies that come, just like the Bible. All of these things that are written, they have to come from somewhere. So a lot of it is inspiration. Humans get these. So a lot of the work I do is through inspiration, like the music I make, the classes I teach, everything is through whatever is divinely given to me. So that time that I made my the video on celibacy, it was divinely guided. It was like, you better make that video now because you had to see that video for us to meet. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
So it's all divinely.
It's fate, basically,
It's all
kind
fate.
of putting us all into one room at this point.
Exactly. It's all divinely orchestrated because it's like God wants the highest good for all. And so something came in me, which is that urge of, I have to do this video now. And all of a sudden I get this from him. I'm like, someone was interested in this video? And I was like, yeah, because it's a normal thing to say that I'm celibate is like, what? That's so odd. It's like, no, this is normal. I'm single. I should be celibate. I shouldn't be sleeping around. I should be celibate until I'm in a faithful relationship with someone. Then I won't be. But until then, of course I'm celibate. It's not a shocking thing. This is the way we should be.
Well, it's shocking because then you have, I'm sure you've seen those women, there's a couple of them now who within a 12-hour span, they supposedly had sex with 1,000 or one of them was 1,113 men. Like, you do the math, it's like 37 seconds per How is that even possible?
And I
don't
think to
understand.
myself, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you, when you know, if you obviously don't know how the spiritual works, because you're now engrossing your body with all their energies. So whatever they got going on, now you got going on.
I just feel bad for the last guy.
Because he got it all.
But how is that even mathematically?
I don't know, bro.
People lie.
Like, how does that? If
Double penetration?
37
Oh,
seconds.
jeez.
Like,
You know, I'm just saying.
like, are they just all standing in line and you're like, all right, Joe, you got
Time out.
12 seconds, buddy. All right,
I only need 5.
Timmy.
Why Joe, man? What the hell, dude?
I didn't say Hofsep. I
You
said
said
Joe.
Joe.
Joe's a common name. Hofsep is not that common.
Well, apparently a bunch of guys gave her the best 8 seconds of their life.
That's just so disgusting.
Well,
Like, what is it
obviously.
good for? What does the woman get out of it? That's what I want to know. Like, what is
She gets a bunch of people signing up to her OnlyFans,
Mhm.
paying her a couple dollars for a bunch of nude
And do you
pictures.
see how disgusting that is?
Of course it is.
That's so.
It's
Im-
ruined society,
Mhm.
and it's ruined feminism.
Yes, 100%.
Because all that hoorah equality, it's like, well, do I want to go become a lawyer? Do I want to become a doctor? Well, Sophia Rain over there just made $23 million in a couple of months by just taking her clothes off. Okay, I think that I'll go do that.
And
Well,
that's-
Tina did call it the Holy Grail, right?
the clitoris is the holy grail, and so when you sell yourself short for money, you're basically selling your soul to the devil.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
prostitution is one of the oldest, what would you call it? The oldest professions in all of mankind.
It's not one of the oldest. The moment there was some type of currency, whatever, that was the first thing that was ever sold was.
The clitoris?
Because they want
Empires were
fought over it.
fought over.
Oh, yeah. Helen of Troy. That
Because they
stupid
knew.
woman.
They knew she had the holy grail, and so when a woman knows who she is and she knows that she has that holy grail, you will never do what that girl did.
Talk about pussy power.
That is pussy power.
Sorry for my French.
And excuse me, when I was little, my mom would call me Mamas Talo. And again,
She has such a cute
Mm-hmm.
Iranian accent. Not say it one more time?
Mamas Talo. And I was like, and I go, Mom. And so Mamas in our and not in Farsi, but like in our own like family was like your vagina. And so she was like, oh, she has the golden vagina. She has a golden vagina. And I was like, yeah. And my brother was Dudu Talo. Like, that's like the Persian way.
The golden penis.
The golden penis. And then I was like, when I found out.
I just pictured, Trump Tower with all the gold fixtures.
It's like the golden.
Army Dodo Tolo,
Dudu Talo. But she was right. We have the Holy Grail. And so when it's used consciously and when a woman knows who she is, she can then help be her highest self. And then she needs the divine man. And that's how it works. So when it comes to the basic part is to be a good human being. How do you become a good human being? Well, know who you are. Respect each other. Love each other. Don't fight with each other. Because you're divine. You're made in the image of God.
Yeah.
So stop chasing. What is that money going to do for you?
Nothing. You're not going to be able to take it with you.
Exactly. So that's when you're saying people are out there looking for things and getting distracted. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the basic thing is you were born with it.
Yeah. And you see what's happening in society today with all the wars that are going on and all the innocent lives that are being lost. And this is why we advocate. I mean, you've seen the stuff we've posted on social media where we are as anti-war as it comes. And you have a bunch of conservatives reaching out to us and saying, well, aren't you guys pro-Israel? Aren't you guys conservatives? It's like, okay. And then when we post something about Trump, all of a sudden the Democrats come in and go, oh, you right-wing wackos and you conservative whack jobs. Like, dude, all we want is fucking peace in the world. We don't want people dying.
And that's the thing where people are, when you take sides, not that you're taking sides. I'm just saying when people are so this and so that, they're adding to the war.
It's not about sides. It's about common sense.
Exactly. And
That's what we're lacking in this world. And to be honest with you, the video, again, I don't know how much of it was true or how much of it was genuine, where Trump came out and dropped the F-bomb about Iran and about Israel, where he said, we have two countries that don't know what the fuck they're doing. That sounded like a genuine pissed off president.
That's the first time I've ever in 30 some years of seeing him on TV, I've ever heard him.
He again, I don't know if it was an act, but he genuinely looked pissed off that he's like, dude, you guys seriously don't know what you're doing at this point. And there has been a ceasefire, thank God. Because the last thing we want is innocent lives killed. Yes. Does Iran need a regime change? Absolutely. Those people that are in power right now are the worst individuals that you would want in power, because the people that are living there, the oppression that's there, and
because the people we have in power are the best people in power.
Well, you know what? Where would you rather live? In America or Iran? In America, Afghanistan? In America or Saudi Arabia?
I always say, if you have to pick between shit and shittier.
And see, you know what's going to happen right now? If we make a clip out of this, right, and we post it, all of a sudden, the left or the Islamic are going to reach out and they're going to say, well, you guys talked about Iranian people being great people. Yes, the Iranian people are great people, but the regime is what's the power, is what's the problem. The regime is what is the problem.
Big time. Big time.
And you can advocate for that.
100%. I always wanted to take them down.
There you go.
I was a little kid.
But the Iranian people are great.
Yeah, well, exactly.
People.
Like when, and the clip I said, Iran has been around for what, 6,000. No, it's been around since 1979.
The Khomeini came into power in 1979, Armand. Get your shit together.
That's when Tehran came up and Iran was built.
It's like you have to. Well, before it was Persia, and then before that,
during the Shah.
But that's the beauty of social media, right? You post a clip and everybody's got their opinion, and then they'll put, oh, this one didn't age well. Like, okay. Why? Because now we have ceasefire. Sorry, buddy. I'm sorry you were looking forward to World War III. This didn't age well.
You know what? The World War III was the best, man. All you morons thinking World War III was going to happen. Trump is going to start World War III. World War III is inevitable. Okay, yeah. Now this is not going to age well as well.
Well, this was probably one of the first episodes we had stayed out of politics till
the last minute
segment. We were like, damn it.
It was very, very fascinating to sit down with you and talk with you. Is there anything we missed before we call it a show? Because the last thing I want is for you to go home and be like, damn it, I should have talked about this. Damn it, I should have talked about that.
On these two.
Well, there is one person that really came into my life that really did a game changer on me just last year. He told me he had cancer. And I found out.
This was a client or somebody that wanted to date you?
Date me.
Oh, so he's a narcissist. Continue.
Yeah, so he had cancer. He ran a Ponzi scheme, and then he committed murder. So I found all of it out within 4 months. And it was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to learn, because he ended up being a drug addict, and he was like addicted to crack cocaine.
Oh, jeez.
So I mean, that was like the biggest little test I've ever had, because when you find the perfect person and it's between false light and true light, and you have to be able to discern, this person was dressed up like everything I've ever wanted.
But it was all a lie.
It was a whole lie. And I remember I was like, well, who lies about having cancer?
Narcissists.
And that's when I realized, again, people lie. Even obviously I knew that, but I never would have ever thought someone would lie about like cancer or anything like that unless it happened to me. So everything that's happened to me, I know has had to happen to me. So I know that I can help someone else better. So I can say, no, that's not really true. How could you have fallen for that?
Tina, it's
I did.
unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the devil is on his shoulder, whispering in his ear, just like the serpent was telling Eve, "Go ahead and eat that apple. You really think you're gonna die? Yeah, God's just testing you. Go ahead and try it out." But
It's so true.
yeah,
It's so true.
it's unfortunate. So
But that was the only thing.
you got to stop attracting these murderers into your life.
I think I've now all I get are people that are at their highest, because I think I really had to go through that where I was like fine tuning, and that was like my last lesson I know that I spiritually got to see if I've learned my lessons.
How'd you feel about today's interaction?
I loved it. I think you guys are amazing.
You're just saying that.
No, seriously, because I feel your energy. I feel like you guys are really good people.
Aw,
No, really.
that's kind of you.
Because normally when I go places and if I pick up bad energy, I get really anxious. I'll start like, I wouldn't be able to breathe. Like my body will start having reactions. And that's when I know I gotta go. Like all of a sudden I'm like, I'll come up with something and I'll be like, I gotta go.
Well, we sat down for Joe. How long did we sit down for? What are we looking at time wise?
2 hours and 12 minutes.
2 hours and 12 minutes.
There you go. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes. With
And
us.
2:12 is actually another one of my God. So I did a song called God Talks
Into the
in
mic.
Code.
Into the mic, Tina.
God speaks in code.
Uh-huh.
And so 2:12 is one of those codes.
2:12.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
So when you mention music, you sing
Yes.
and you play instruments or no?
I don't play the instruments, but
Just-
I sing. And then I've always loved singing and dancing since I was little. So now that I'm doing what I want to do, I love bringing acting and dancing and just being like the inner child that wants to have fun and helping other people get back to their inner child.
Well, we want to thank you for driving up here, taking time to sit down with us and having a great conversation. We really, truly appreciate it. How can people reach out to you if they're interested in hypnosis?
Well, they can do it through Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Tina Wellness Guide.
There you go. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And everybody else, today's episode will be up and running on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms mañana. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys all next week.
Thank you, guys.